Hi everyone. Today I will talk about the impact of API in e-commerce. Well, how about if I tell you that API can create a better customer experience? I believe that you already know. And how about if I tell you that API can grow your business? I think that you believe in it. That's why you are all here. But I would like to go further. API can also create a more sustainable behavior. Well, I believe personally that we can make online shopping, a simple online shopping, a catalyst of also a positive change. That's why I create my startup, LiVert, that is an API solution to group online shopping so people can get free and greener shipping. My name is Feliana Citradewi. I'm the founder of LiVert. I come from Indonesia and I came to France 15 years ago without speak any word in France. And I did a long whole study, including a master in ENA, École Nationale d'Administration. It's very well known in France, and also Sciences Po, Social and Political Sciences. I did also master in international and European law. And I come back to Indonesia. Nobody know this, so I did also the master of public communication in Sorbonne. After the whole long study, I also got headhunted directly by several corporates, big corporates such as L'Oreal, Randstad as business manager. Until one day, I have many existential question while shopping online. Yeah, I got this question like, why should we pay shipping? Well, nobody likes this to pay shipping, right? But what is more shocking is this. Yes, this photo nothing to do with API, but when I go to my local trash can, I saw this so many boxes, plastic and waste, and mostly come from our online shopping. I saw so many brands that I used to buy as well. And I think, well, they're my neighbor buying the same website like me, used to pay delivery like me, and we pollute the planet altogether. Therefore, I create my startup LiVert that will be able to solve this problem in the same time reducing the environmental print, also reducing the abandoned chart up to 40%. We will go back to this later on, but now what I would like to discuss is the impact of API in e-commerce in general. Before exploring all of this, let's talk about the problem that the API designed to solve. API, as we know, is the mechanism that allow the interaction between various applications, sharing data, etc. So why e-commerce need API? An API finally allow e-commerce company to transform a static website into an intelligent, interactive, and seamlessly integrating real-time data. So nowadays, e-commerce store relies on several moving parts. And it starts with e-commerce platform to manage, for example, inventory, process order, etc. This is why you need APIs. So if you are starting a business, e-commerce, you need to adopt an API first approach. It can has really a tremendous impact in your customer shopping journey. This is what we want. And of course, at the end, increase your income. Modern business recognize that they need API first approach rather than simply patching all the API into a system. So API will finally enable to increase the connectivity between application. This is how API also can be a major success point for your business. API will finally personalize the shopping experiences and the scalability of your service because it allows for your service to be more agile, more innovative, and also efficient. So this whole thing will lead to the API economy. What is the API economy? This refers to how API finally and all of the business model around it to provide a value and profitability for your business. For the e-commerce store in particular, The effect of API economy can be seen directly in the impact of the customer experience. Well, because we know that online customers are really the worst, including me. So that's why I know we want all, we want everything, right? Customer doesn't want just to access your e-commerce store from the laptop, from the computer. We also want to be able to shop through our mobile, through our tablet, even through our social media profile. So all of these things represent even 60% of all of the sales come from mobile in 2023. This is the majority of the sales now in e-commerce, which means that e-commerce want to be able to evolve quickly with what the customer wants. What is the current trend? AI. Now, every business needs to integrate AI. You might want to integrate AI in your e-commerce, chat box, customer service, etc. Well, API can make all of this possible and easier. So, if you're still not convinced what is actually the advantage using API and API first approach in your business, well, let's list one by one the advantages that we clearly can see. You can connect all the system in your tech stack and share your data between them using API. This way, you get, of course, a better understanding of your customers, while your customers will be having a better shopping experience. So this is globally why you need to use API. But concretely, how? With using API, you will have a better security. Better security, the front end and the back end of your store can be separated, but can communicate using API. So this way, actually, it will reduce the service that malicious actor can able to attack directly, because the problem in the front end, doesn't have to impact the back end and vice versa. So it's increasing your cyber security. Also, it will create a cost reduction and efficiency. For example, reusability. Well, there was a time when finally connecting different tools in your e-commerce need to require like a lot of developers, expertise, and also in time. But nowadays, finally, your team doesn't have to create a new integration every single time you want to add a new function in your system, because you can reuse the existing API for a connection. And also extensibility. The world of e-commerce, as we saw before, it's always changing. It's very like the customer experience, like super fast changing. So you will need that to find yourself adjusting the tools of your e-commerce store. And in your tech stack, to meet different market condition and buyer needs, you will need the API. And also, you want your business to scale, right? An API can make a growing business finally easier due to what we saw, extensibility that they profile, and also as your software change, finally you can add even more to your existing system using the same reusable API as we saw before to connect. And last but not least, it's the partnership. Today's profitable business will have several partners as part of their ecosystem. And with API, it will enable you finally to create a similar ecosystem to your e-commerce inside your website e-commerce. And of course, we have so many more advantages of API. But rather than looking all of this theory only, let's see what the data say. Simply, we can see that API contribute to a higher conversion rate, customer retention, leading the increase of turnover, and the number is really impressive. Nowadays, in average, for example, e-commerce will need at least 25 APIs to handle various aspects of their operation, including marketing, app payment, fulfillment, shipping, return process, etc. 57% of the web application are fueled by APIs. And the number of income contributed by API, well, this is staggering. For me, it's mind-blowing. 60% of e-commerce revenue is generated through API usage. Even it's exceedingly high in the travel online aggregator. Up to 90% of online travel aggregators revenue is generated through API. So this review is not from the random Medium post or something. This is from Harvard Business Review. Therefore, it's not wondering that finally API market growth very fast. We have more than 34% compound annual growth rate until now. So originally, the API market started around 2.8 billion in when it started to grow 2021, and it is already almost double in 2022 by $5.2 billion. In 2030, it will be expected to reach 41.5 billion US dollar, which means that within less than 10 years, it has 20 times more than its original market. That is the power of API. It will enable finally you to break the element of your business, of your e-commerce functionality into a smaller pieces. And instead of having all into one system, it become more agile and easier to develop. So now let's talk about all of this part of API: inventory, payment, fulfillment, etc. And also, of course, shipping. Talking about shipping, let's back to LiVert, the subject that, of course, I know the best. Well, what is the case study of the API for LiVert? Finally, this is how API can impact the e-commerce in more sustainable way by putting an API solution that is actually can help you to become a more sustainable business. Well, what is LiVert? We are the API solution that we integrate directly into a client inventory system with the real-time shipping logistic, and it can also reduce your abandoned charge and also the shipping costs and the carbon footprint. Let's see with the data first. Do you know what is the first reason of the chart abandonment in e-commerce? Well, I can tell you that more than 50%, almost 60% of the chart in e-commerce are abandoned because of shipping costs. I told you that nobody wants to pay delivery, including me and nobody. And also another problem for you and for consumer, half of our package used to be empty. Another very frustrating fact about sustainability is also 25% of the CO2 emitted in the city, it's caused by our merchandise shipping. So all of this problem we can solve by only a single solution using LiVert API. We are a solution to group online shopping, people who want to buy in the same website, living in the same neighborhood, group their shopping, pass the minimum required by the website to get free shipping. And finally, we can reduce also our environmental print by doing this. Instead of having 2 boxes, only one. Instead of having three in one. Instead of having 2 delivery within 48 hours, we only have 1 shipping. Instead of stopping into 7 stop in the same neighborhood, you can devices by 2, only 2 or 3 stop using LiVert. So the advantage here is very clear, as well as for user to have greener and also free shipping, but for the e-commerce website, also to reduce their abandoned chart due to shipping costs that we saw. It's almost 60%. And another very urgent needs for e-commerce today is to comply with the ESG requirement come from European Union. Start from this year, every company need to do their extra financial reporting, how they reduce their carbon footprint and also improve their ESG. By using LiVert, we can help them to comply with this regulation. For the courier, the transporter, we will also help them finally to reduce their environmental print, but also to facilitate and to reduce the cost in the last mile delivery, which is the most complex and costly. Last but not least, planet, we will reduce a whole of our online shopping waste, including CO2, plastic packaging, all linked to our order and shipping. Well, that's how I actually envision the future of e-commerce. I believe that it will be and it should be more cost efficient and yet more sustainable, while also still customer centric model. So please leverage actually the power of API for a better efficiency of your business and in the same time to make it more sustainable. Well, last but not least, I believe that we are in the era of intersection between innovation and also responsibility. So let's reimagine e-commerce not only as a marketplace, but also a platform for a sustainable change. Thank you.